He fell asleep alone, the way he always did. The room was small and quiet, rented with money he barely had. One flickering bulb hung from the ceiling, and the walls carried old cracks like scars. Outside, the city breathed slowly. Cars passed far away. Somewhere a dog barked and then went silent. The bed was narrow, the blanket thin, but it was enough. It always had to be enough. He lay on his back, staring at the ceiling, thinking about nothing and everything at the same time. About how days passed without anyone really seeing him. About how the world felt crowded, yet he still felt invisible. Sleep came slowly, like a tired friend that never arrived on time. When his eyes finally closed, there was no warning. No sound, no light, no dream. Just a sudden feeling of falling, then nothing. When he opened his eyes again, the first thing he noticed was the silence. Not the normal silence of night, but a deeper one. A silence that felt wide and empty, like the space between stars. The second thing was the light. Soft blue lines glowed across a curved ceiling above him. Not a bulb, not a window. The light did not hurt his eyes, but it did not belong to his world. His heart began to beat faster. His mouth went dry. He tried to sit up. The bed moved with him, smooth and warm, not old and noisy like the one he owned. The air felt clean, too clean, carrying a strange metallic scent mixed with something almost sweet. His breath came out sharp as fear finally reached his mind. This was not his room. His hands trembled as he pushed himself upright. The walls were round, seamless, like they were grown instead of built. No doors, no corners, no familiar shapes. Panic pressed hard against his chest. Then he felt it. Warmth beside him. Not the warmth of blankets, not the warmth of memory. This was different, alive. Slowly, carefully, he turned his head. Someone or something was lying next to him. The being was tall even while resting, its body slim and still. Its skin shimmered softly, pale silver with hints of blue beneath, like moonlight trapped under ice. Long, dark lashes rested against smooth skin. Its chest rose and fell in a calm rhythm. It was sleeping. His breath caught in his throat. This was no costume, no trick, no human made to look strange. This was alien. Fear hit him all at once. His muscles locked. Every instinct screamed at him to run, to shout, to fight. But his body refused to move. He felt small, weak, like a child lost in a world too big to understand. He whispered, barely louder than a breath, "This can't be real." The being stirred. Its eyes opened slowly, revealing a deep, glowing color he had no word for, something between violet and gold. Those eyes focused on him, sharp and aware, yet not cruel. It did not scream. It did not attack. It simply looked at him, as if it had been expecting this moment. A voice entered his mind, gentle but clear, carrying weight without force. "You are awake too soon." He gasped, clutching the edge of the bed. Don't do that," he said aloud, his voice shaking. "Where am I?" The being shifted, sitting up slightly, keeping distance between them. Its movements were careful, almost respectful. "You were alone," the voice said. "Now you are not." That answer did not calm him. If anything, it made his fear deeper. "I didn't choose this," he said. "I just went asleep." The alien lowered its gaze, something like sadness passing across its face. "Neither did I." The words landed heavily between them. For the first time since waking, he noticed something else. Beyond the curved wall, faint shapes moved, stars drifting slowly, endlessly. He was not in his city. He was not on his world. And whatever lay beside him was not his enemy. But not his savior either. The night he fell asleep alone had ended. And something far greater had begun. He could barely breathe. The alien sat across from him, still watching but not moving closer. Its eyes glowed softly, reflecting the strange blue light that filled the room. Every instinct in him screamed to run, but he could not. His body felt frozen, as if the air itself had weight. Then the voice came again, inside his mind this time. Not loud, not harsh, just a thought that pressed gently against his thoughts. "You are not afraid in the way I expected." He swallowed hard. "I am afraid," he said, voice trembling. "I don't even know what you are or what this place is." The alien's gaze softened, almost human in its sympathy. "You are brave because you have no choice. That is rare." He didn't understand brave, he felt anything, but he felt small, trapped, powerless. "I'm not brave," he whispered. "I'm just tired of everything being so impossible." The being tilted its head slightly, studying him. "Exhaustion is not weakness. It is proof you survive despite everything. That is why you are here." He frowned. "Here, what do you mean?" "I did not bring you," the voice said, calm, almost sad. "But you came anyway. That is not coincidence." A shiver ran down his spine. Something about the way it said coincidence made him feel like the universe had hands watching, testing. The alien rose to its full height, and even sitting, it seemed impossibly tall. Its skin glimmered under the blue light. Its long fingers flexed slowly. "My kind will not stop looking for me. They will arrive soon. You are not supposed to exist in this place, yet here you are." His pulse quickened. "They, who are they? What do you mean, my kind?" The alien's eyes flickered. "My people are not your people. They do not understand you. They will take you or destroy you because you are human." He shook his head. "I'm just a person. I don't have any powers. I don't even have a job that matters." The alien's voice softened, almost wistful. "Power is not what matters. Choice is. You chose to breathe in spite of fear. You chose to face the unknown instead of turning away. That is enough to matter here." He closed his eyes, trying to steady himself. It was impossible. His mind was spinning with questions he could not answer. Where was he? How did this being enter his life without warning? Could he survive whatever came next? The alien moved closer, but not too close. Its long fingers hovered just above the bed. "I will not harm you. I will not take you. But you are now part of what is coming." He looked at it, heart pounding. "I don't want to be part of anything. I want to go home." The alien shook its head slightly, almost sorrowful. "Home is not a place anymore. It is what you carry inside. You carry it even when you do not see it." He wanted to cry, not just for himself, but for everything he had lost, everything he had never had. He wanted comfort, and strangely, he felt a spark of it from this creature that was not human, yet somehow understood. The room seemed to shift. The walls curved differently, the light pulsed softly, and the stars outside moved faster as if time itself were bending. "Soon they will arrive," the alien said, "and you must choose to run, to fight, to survive, but you will not be alone." He swallowed hard. He did not understand what it meant to not be alone with a being so alien, so foreign, yet so present. He wanted to step back, but his legs refused. He wanted to scream, but the sound caught in his throat. "Fear is natural," the alien continued, "but do not let it control you. You will need clarity when the world becomes chaos." The words struck him in a way he could not explain. They were not orders, they were not advice. They were a lifeline. He took a deep breath. The alien's gaze held him, patient, almost gentle. For the first time since waking, he felt a tiny thread of understanding. He was not just a victim of circumstance. He had a part to play. And though he did not know what that part was, he knew one thing. He could not run. He had to face whatever was coming, beside a being he did not understand, in a place that was not his own. And the thought, terrifying as it was, made his heart beat with something new, the faintest spark of hope. The quiet did not last long. A distant vibration grew through the walls, a low hum that seemed to crawl under his skin. The air felt heavier, tighter, as if the room itself was warning him. He froze, heart pounding. The alien beside him stiffened as well, its glowing eyes scanning the curved walls. "They are coming," the voice whispered in his mind, calm but urgent. He swallowed hard. "Coming, who's coming?" His voice shook. "My kind and yours." The words hit him like ice water. His stomach twisted. His kind, humans, that made no sense. No humans could exist here, not in this strange, glowing place. Yet the certainty in the alien's tone left no room for doubt. The walls trembled. The light flickered, casting shadows that moved unnaturally across the curved surfaces. He could feel it through the bed, through the floor, something vast and powerful approaching. "They will destroy this vessel if they find me," the alien continued. "And you You are not supposed to exist here. Fear clawed at him, but alongside it rose something unfamiliar, anger. Then stop them, he shouted. His own voice startled him, rough and raw, but it carried something the alien had not expected. The alien's glowing eyes widened slightly. I cannot, I am broken. The word broken struck him harder than any threat. Broken. Here in this strange, impossible place with this alien beside him, even the being itself could not defend them. Panic threatened to rise again, but he pushed it down. Then we fix it, he said, determination seeping into his voice. We do it together. The alien hesitated, studying him. Its expression was unreadable, but something shifted in the quiet. You are human. Yes, he said firmly. And that's why it can work. Humans survive when nothing else can. The being blinked, slow and deliberate. It studied him for a long moment, then nodded. Very well together. He looked around. The walls hummed now, responding to some invisible force. A faint outline of panels and symbols emerged, glowing faintly beneath the surface, like a hidden language. He had no idea what any of it meant, but instinct told him to touch. Tell me what to do, he said, reaching toward the glowing patterns. The alien moved closer, its hand hovering above his own, guiding but not touching. You must push beyond fear. Do not hesitate. He nodded, heart hammering. His hands traced the symbols. Light pulsed under his fingers, warmth spreading up his arms. The room seemed to respond to them as if alive. The vibrations grew, but now they felt different, not threatening but urgent. Alive. Suddenly a shadow flashed across the curved walls. Something was breaking through. Shapes moved too fast to understand. Metallic sounds, harsh and slicing, echoed around them. They are here, the alien said. Its voice no longer calm, but focused, tense, ready. He realized something then. This was no longer about fear. Survival was a choice. Action was the only path. He could run or he could fight, his instincts and his humanity both screaming to act. The alien extended its hand. Not in threat, not in control, in partnership. He took it. The warmth shocked him, but steadied his racing heart. Light flowed from their connection, pulsing faster and stronger, filling the room with energy neither of them fully understood. Outside, beyond the glowing walls, he could sense ships moving, something enormous. The enemy's presence was overwhelming, and yet, for the first time since waking, he did not feel completely helpless. The alien looked at him, its eyes sharp, alert, and something like hope flickering within them. Your choice now defines everything. He took a deep breath. Fear was still there, tight in his chest, but it no longer ruled him. He would not run, he would not cower. Whatever came through those walls, whatever his own mind could not yet comprehend, he would face it. And he would face it together. Because for the first time, he understood something essential. Humans survive not by strength alone, but by courage, by will, by refusing to let even the impossible crush them. And that courage right now was the only weapon he had. The enemy had arrived, but he, a human, was ready. And beside him an alien being, broken yet resolute, was ready too. The battle, whatever it would be, had already begun. The hum of the ship had grown into a roar. Panels lit up with symbols he could not understand, blinking in sequences too fast for the eye to follow. The alien beside him stood rigid, its glowing eyes scanning the room as though it could see through walls. Every vibration of the floor, every flicker of light seemed to scream danger. They will come for me, and for you, the voice in his head said. He clenched his fists. Then we stop them, he said, though he did not know how. His voice carried the weight of fear, yes, but also determination he had never felt before. The alien turned toward him slowly. You do not understand what you are asking. This is beyond survival. This is choice, and choice is dangerous. I understand, he said, his voice shaking. I understand enough to know that doing nothing is worse. The alien hesitated, its body pulsing with faint blue light. Very few humans would speak like that. Most would scream, run, or hide. I am not most humans, he replied. He looked around, noticing for the first time the subtle shifts in the room, the way the walls seemed almost alive, the way the light moved as though responding to thought. Then teach me. Tell me what to do. The alien studied him for a long moment. Its hand hovered over a glowing panel, fingers brushing air, not touching, as if afraid to break something delicate. "This will bind our fates," it warned. He met its gaze. "I already woke up here. Fates are already tangled." A shudder ran through the ship. Somewhere metal groaned and tore. Lights flickered, casting shadows that moved like living creatures. Outside, he could sense them, the approaching attackers, vast and terrible. "You must act quickly," the alien said, voice sharp now. "I cannot guarantee you will survive if we fail." "I don't care," he said. "I care about standing, about trying. That's all I can do." The alien's eyes softened for a brief moment. "Then we begin." It placed one hand over his, and light surged through them both. Warm, sharp, almost painful, but it felt alive, like it carried memory, will, and power all at once. The symbols across the room responded, glowing brighter as if acknowledging the union of human and alien effort. He could feel the energy crawling through his veins, mingling with fear, hope, and something he did not yet understand. His hands shook, but he held on. The alien guided his movements silently with thought alone. The panels lit up in sequences that seemed impossible. The floor vibrated. The walls hummed. The ship responded to them, not to anyone else. "Your species is unpredictable," the alien whispered. "It is reckless, defiant, fearless in ways I do not understand. That is why this might work." He swallowed hard. "I am just trying to survive." "Survival can take many forms," it said, "and sometimes it changes everything." Then the ship shuddered violently. The enemies had arrived. Outside, he could feel them pressing, vast and silent, ready to tear apart everything in their path. Metal screamed. Light flickered. Panic clawed at him, but he did not let go. Now the alien said, "Push with me, do not hesitate." He obeyed instinctively, guided by a bond he had never experienced, flowing with power that was terrifying and magnificent. Energy surged outward from their connection, filling the room, filling the ship, pulsing like the heartbeat of something alive. Outside, he could feel the attackers faltering, their precision failing against an unpredictable force they could not comprehend. "It is working," the alien whispered, astonishment threading its voice. He laughed raw and loud, a sound of disbelief and relief. "We're doing it, we." The ship shuddered again, harder this time, as if the very structure protested their effort. Pain ran through his arms, but he did not release his grip. The alien's glow flared, and for a brief moment he saw the determination in its expression, a spark of life refusing to bend, refusing to surrender. "You are extraordinary," it said. "I did not know this could be done." He shook his head, still holding the alien's hand. "It's not just me, it's us, together." The enemy faltered completely. Systems failed to respond. Weapons misfired. The perfect plan of destruction crumbled under their defiance. The alien's voice softened, almost in awe. "Your kind surprises even the impossible." He smiled through sweat and fear. The room was still trembling, still alive with energy, but for the first time he felt control, not full control, but enough. Enough to know that, for now, they had survived. And in that survival, he understood something more. Humans, fragile and flawed, could achieve the impossible when they refused to surrender. The battle was not over. The enemy had not gone. But for the first time since he woke up in this alien place, he felt a spark of victory. He had made a choice, and that choice had already begun to change everything. The attack came suddenly, violently, without warning. Shapes of metal and light tore through space outside the vessel, sending shockwaves through the walls. The bed he had slept in hours ago no longer existed in memory, only the humming, living ship that responded to the alien and him. Panic rose in his chest, sharp and hot, but he did not run. Beside him, the alien glowed brighter, its form tense and focused. "They have found us," it said in his mind, voice steady but urgent. "We must act." He nodded, gripping the alien's hand as the energy between them pulsed. The panels around the room blinked rapidly, symbols shifting too fast to follow, and the ship shuddered under the pressure. Fear pressed on him, but he realized something strange. This fear did not paralyze him. It sharpened him. It made him human. Your species does not always think before acting, the alien said, almost admiringly. Yet that defiance, that will, it is unpredictable. It is powerful. He did not respond with words. Words could not capture the storm inside him. Instead, he moved instinctively, pressing symbols, directing energy, letting the rhythm of his own survival guide the alien's hand. Their connection flowed like electricity, alive and dangerous. The ship responded to them both, bending reality in ways neither fully understood. The enemy's weapons struck, filling the air with blinding light and shrieking metal. Panels cracked, energy surged, yet against all odds they did not fall. They adapted. They pressed forward. Every pulse from his body, every flicker from the alien's glow fought back against destruction. "You should not be able to do this," the alien whispered, astonishment threading its voice. He laughed loud and raw, trembling with fear and exhilaration. "We're doing it together." The enemy faltered. Their precision, calculated to perfection, crumbled against unpredictability. Every attempt to destroy the vessel failed as if the universe itself was bending to witness something new. Humans had never faced forces like this, yet here he was, surviving, not alone, but with a being whose kind had dismissed his existence entirely. Time seemed to stretch and bend. Each moment became heavier, charged with possibility and danger. Pain ran through his arms from holding on to the alien, from pushing energy beyond limits, yet he refused to release. He could feel the alien beside him, its will intertwined with his, its confidence growing as he met its gaze. "Your kind, flawed, fragile, imperfect, you survive anyway," it said, awe in its tone. "It is extraordinary." He smiled through exhaustion. "It's not just me, it's us. We survive together." The enemy recoiled, their formations breaking apart. Space itself seemed to resist them. The ship pulsed with energy, alive and aware. It bent the attackers' movements, disrupted their patterns, and protected them in a way that no one had anticipated. Survival was no longer a possibility, it was happening. The alien released a long, soft sigh, almost like relief, though its glow remained strong. "You humans, you defy logic. You take risks that should kill you, yet somehow you endure." He let himself feel pride for the first time in years. He had survived fear, chaos, and impossibility. He had acted not out of power or training, but out of instinct, courage, and the refusal to break. That was human strength, simple, unpolished, and yet unstoppable. The enemy ships retreated, malfunctioning under the combined force of human will and alien guidance. They were not gone entirely, but for now the threat had passed. Silence returned to the ship, heavy and alive, almost reverent. He slumped against the wall, exhausted, hands still glowing faintly from the energy. The alien remained beside him, luminous and calm, but with an unmistakable warmth in its eyes. "You have proven yourself," it said simply. He shook his head, still catching his breath. "No, we proved ourselves together." For the first time since waking up in a room that was not his own, he felt the truth of it deep in his bones. Humans could be fragile, yes, and alone they might fall. But when they refused to surrender, even when everything seemed impossible, they became unstoppable. And right now, that refusal had saved not just him, but the alien beside him. They survived. And that survival had changed something fundamental, something that neither species could have predicted. Human courage, he realized, was not loud or flashy. It was simple, it was stubborn, it was a refusal to break. And in that moment he understood. No matter what came next, that courage would never let him fall. After the chaos ended, silence fell over the ship like a heavy blanket. The walls glowed softly, humming faintly, alive yet calm now. He sank to the floor, exhausted, hands trembling, heart still racing from the fight. The alien sat beside him, close enough to feel its warmth, but still careful, maintaining distance as if respecting the fragile boundary between their worlds. "You survived because you did not falter," the alien said, its voice gentle now, almost reflective. He shook his head. "I did not do it alone," he whispered. "We did it together." The alien studied him, eyes glowing softly, and for the first time he saw something entirely unexpected, a hint of wonder. "Your kind is different. You feel even when it is dangerous. You act even when nothing guarantees survival. That is why you endure." He laughed softly, exhaustion and relief mingling in the sound. Maybe we just care too much. Maybe that's what makes the difference. The alien tilted its head. Caring it is foreign to most of my kind. We see emotion as weakness. You are proof it can be strength. He looked around at the ship, the curved walls still pulsing faintly, alive with the memory of their combined effort. He had never imagined that survival could feel like this, like wonder, like awe, like possibility all at once. You will have to leave soon, the alien continued. Its voice was soft, almost sorrowful. The path back to your world is ready. You belong there. He swallowed hard. He had felt this coming, but hearing it made his chest ache. And you, he asked, voice low, you're not coming with me. The alien's hand hovered near his, hesitating, trembling slightly. I cannot. My people, they will never allow me to leave. But you carry a piece of me now. A memory, a choice, a bond. He reached out slowly, touching its hand for the first time. Warmth spread through him, not just physical but deeper, something that connected their experiences, their courage, their survival. The alien's glow flowed into his palm, faint but persistent, a mark of what they had shared. I will remember you, it said, and I will remember that you chose to stand. Tears filled his eyes. I'll remember you too, always. Outside, the stars drifted silently, distant and endless, like witnesses to the impossible bond forming between them. He realized then that home was no longer a place defined by streets or buildings. Home was courage, choice, and connection, things that transcended worlds. Do not forget what you have learned here, the alien said. Even among your kind, the impossible is achievable. You carry that now. He nodded, heart aching but full. I won't forget. A soft hum grew around them, the ship preparing for the journey back. Energy flowed gently under his feet, and he felt the pull of gravity bending toward a familiar world. His chest tightened, not from fear, but from the weight of leaving someone who had changed him entirely. We survived together, the alien whispered, and that will never be undone. He closed his eyes, letting the energy flow, letting himself feel the warmth and light of the being beside him one last time. This was not goodbye. It was a promise, unspoken but understood, connecting two worlds separated by impossible distance. When the ship began to shift, preparing to send him home, he felt the alien's presence receding, not with loss but with trust. They had faced something beyond fear, beyond logic, beyond expectation, and survived, together. He opened his eyes and saw the faint glow of the mark still on his hand, a reminder that courage, choice, and connection could transcend everything, even species, even worlds. And as the stars outside stretched into streaks of light, carrying him back to the place he had come from, he understood something profound. Humans were never truly powerless. Even in the face of the impossible, they could rise, they could endure, they could change fate itself. And he had witnessed it, not alone, but with someone who had taught him that even the most alien of beings could recognize the strength of a human heart. For the first time in his life, he felt truly awake, truly alive, and ready for whatever world awaited him. He woke with the sound of rain tapping against the window. The room looked small, familiar, unchanged. The cracked ceiling, the flickering bulb, the narrow bed, they were all the same. For a heartbeat, he wondered if it had been a dream, a hallucination born from exhaustion and fear. Then he looked at his hand. A faint glow pulsed beneath his skin, a soft light that seemed alive. He traced it with his finger, feeling warmth that could not be explained. It was a reminder, a proof, a mark that what had happened was real. The alien, the ship, the impossible fight, they were not illusions, they were part of him now. He sat on the edge of the bed, heart still racing, mind flooded with memories of the events that had changed everything. The fear, the panic, the surge of power, the alien's voice in his mind, soft and strong, guiding him, trusting him, believing in him. He had never felt seen like that, never felt valued. And now he carried that memory, that courage, that connection with him. Days passed. Life went on, or at least the semblance of it. He returned to work, to the crowded streets, to the routines that once felt meaningless. But everything had changed. He noticed the small things, the resilience of a stranger struggling, the kindness of a passerby, the strength in the smallest acts. Humans were fragile, yes, but within that fragility lay a defiance he had never truly appreciated until now. Sometimes at night he would look at the stars, and sometimes he could feel it, a presence. Not beside him physically, but something vast and aware, reaching out across space, a being that had once saved him and allowed him to save itself. The connection was subtle, almost a whisper in his mind, but unmistakable. A reminder that he was not alone ever again. The glow on his hand remained faint but persistent, a constant pulse, as if keeping time with the heartbeat of the alien who had trusted him. He traced it absent-mindedly, feeling strength and comfort in its warmth. That small mark carried the lessons of courage, choice, and trust. It was proof that humans could defy impossible odds, that even when alone, they could reach out and connect across the impossible. He thought of the alien often, its eyes deep and glowing, full of both sorrow and hope. Its hand, guiding his, sharing its strength, teaching him that survival was never just about power. It was about determination, courage, and refusing to yield. He had learned more from those days than from decades of life. And then he understood something he had never allowed himself to believe. Humans, alone or with others, carried within them the ability to rise above fear, to shape their destiny, and even to leave a mark on the universe far beyond their own understanding. He smiled faintly, the first time in a long time that it felt effortless. Though the alien was gone from sight, it had left him with something greater than its presence. A reminder that courage could cross worlds, that connection could endure, and that humanity, in its stubbornness and heart, was capable of wonders no one could predict. He lay back on the bed, listening to the rain, feeling the pulse of the mark on his hand, and allowed himself to close his eyes. He was no longer the lonely human who had fallen asleep hours or days ago. He was someone changed, someone awake in every sense of the word, someone who had touched the impossible and survived. And for the first time, he did not feel alone. Even if the alien could not be beside him physically, its trust, its courage, and its faith in him lived on. And he carried it forward, not just as memory, but as a force, a light, and a proof that even the smallest human could leave an indelible mark on the cosmos. The stars outside twinkled, distant but constant, like old friends watching over him. And in that quiet, he knew the truth. Humans are never truly alone when they have the courage to face the impossible and the heart to carry what they have learned into every day that follows. He slept again that night, calm, the faint glow on his hand lighting the room softly, a quiet reminder that he had survived, and that humanity in its simplest form could endure anything. He had fallen asleep alone once, but he would never wake up alone again.